Welcome to No Things Considered. It's a new year, so we're going to be much more mature at our show. We're definitely not going to note how Meghan Markle's hat looks like a poop emoji. No, we're going to talk about serious foreign policy and what we have deemed the Donald Trump foreign policy extravaganza. Donald Trump started off on January the 1st, his very first tweet of the new year, picking a fight with Pakistan. Put it full screen. The United States has foolishly given Pakistan more than $33 billion in aid over the last 15 years, and they have given us nothing but lies and deceit, thinking of our leaders as fools. They give safe haven to terrorists we hunt in Afghanistan with little help. No more. No more. See, here's the thing about that tweet. Everyone kind of agrees with it. Even though there are a lot of things Donald Trump has done foreign policy-wise where people have been fighting, Hillary Clinton said Pakistan was a problem years ago when she was Secretary of State, when she was, not laundering money or whatever through the Clinton Foundation, not doing that pay-for-play scheme. But back then, she even said there was a problem with Pakistan. And remember where we found this guy. He was just hanging out in a nice house in the middle of Pakistan, just having a great time. That's where we went and found him. It's always interesting, though, when Donald Trump has a tweet ready to go. It's almost like the printing shops in each one of the foreign countries is ready to go with protest materials. Take a look at this. There's little kids out there. They're like, no, Donald Trump is old. They're going with that old man thing that makes no sense. I guess that's offensive to someone. Who knows? In other foreign policy news, Donald Trump's involved in all this, by the way. Iran is having an uprising. Seems like their government's not going to be around much longer. They don't like that Ayatollah over there, and they're taking to the streets to basically take back their country. Interestingly enough, President of the United States weighing in on it. Here we go, full screen again. Iran is failing at every level despite the terrible deal made with them by the Obama administration. The great Iranian people have been repressed for many years. They are hungry for food and for freedom along with human rights. The wealth of Iran is being looted. Time for change. You might remember Obama sent pallets of money over there a couple of years ago for them to just, spend on terrorism and cool pictures of themselves when they go out and speak to people. Here's the Ayatollah coming out and saying that, oh, these uprisings are being caused by other countries trying to eliminate me as your leader. I really like, by the way, that you've got like young Ayatollah hanging on the wall. Like there's the fresh-faced version of him and then the old, tired version of him in front of that. It's not other countries. You can't repress people forever. They're going to come after you at some point. I'm surprised that my producer on the show hasn't choked me to death yet, but that's a whole nother story for another time. Another full screen tweet here by Donald Trump. It's all Donald Trump tweeting about foreign policy to start the new year. Here we go. The people of Iran are finally acting against the brutal and corrupt Iranian regime. All of the money that President Obama so foolishly gave them went into terrorism and into their pockets. The people have little food, big inflation with no human rights. The U.S. is watching. We're watching, and this is different than that Arab Spring. Remember when that was being fueled under Obama? This seems like they're actually going to get rid of radicalized Islam and that oppressive Islamic government over in Iran at this point. There are some people who support the current government and the Ayatollah. Here's their version of a women's march supporting them. As you can see, it's very colorful as opposed to what we know as women's marches in the United States. That's a thing, huh? And if you want to talk about actually being liberated as women, which these ladies say that they're liberated as women, I can't say it better than this tweet that we're going to put full screen right here by Mona Eltaway. I'm an Egyptian-American Muslim woman who fought for 8 years to stop wearing hijab, and I'm not celebrating this Shepherd Ferry poster. That is the poster, one of the main images that we saw during the Women's March here, and of course this. But this is what real suppression looks like, folks. And if you want to see the opposite of real suppression, I'm going to go back in the slides. It's people who are giving up their lives to try to defeat a government who is suppressing them, honestly suppressing them. So praying for the people of Iran and see where things end up there. But this is no Women's March compared to the freedom that they're fighting for in Iran. And we're not going to stop there because the foreign policy train kept going, that Trump train, when he went after Kim Jong-un. Because why would you leave out Rocket Man? Throw the tweet full screen. Sanctions and other pressures are beginning to have big impact on North Korea. Soldiers are dangerously fleeing to South Korea. Rocket Man now wants to talk to South Korea for the first time. Perhaps that's good news, perhaps not. We shall see. Kim Jong-un responded by saying he has his finger on the nuclear button on his desk. Also on his desk, probably a block of Swiss and a block of cheddar cheese. He really likes the cheese, that guy. Used to be slimmer, now he's... Same with the Ayatollah. Looked younger and more, and now he's just a haggard old man. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and also makes you get really out of shape when you don't have to work out. People work out for you when you're that supreme leader of a nation, right? Guys, Donald Trump did not stop with foreign policy. The extravaganza continued because he brought back an old favorite of ours, Crooked Hillary and Huma Abedin Full screen again on tweets. It is a Trump tweet-a-thon today on the show. Crooked Hillary Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin, has been accused of disregarding basic security protocols. She put classified passwords into the hands of foreign agents. Remember sailors' pictures on submarine? Jail. Deep State, Justice Department must finally act. Also on Comey and others. Talk about a bad year. Huma, her emails that were on Anthony Weiner's computer apparently gave up top secret information. There are a few other leaks there. So she probably will be investigated, and who knows where she'll end up. If you think she ends up in jail, put it in the comments. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know this. She had two problems in her life. This guy and this guy. Not good. Earlier today, the New York Times reporting that the economy has done well under Donald Trump. Businesses feeling more encouraged under what they're calling the Trump effect. Yeah, that's right. The New York Times said this. We're going to put this quote full screen because blowing my mind. A wave of optimism has swept over American business leaders, and it was beginning to translate into the sort of investment in new plants, equipment, and factory upgrades that bolsters economic growth, spurs job creation, and may finally raise wages significantly. In response to finding out this story was leaked through the New York Times, the editorial board fired the guy who wrote it. Seems about right. I'm kidding. It's a joke. And congratulations to Hoda Kotb for taking over for serial sexual harasser Matt Lauer, allegedly sexual harasser. Hopefully, she'll get to take over that really cool high-tech office in the corner that's like Alcatraz, but for staffers. Remember, he had the electric locks on the doors and soundproofing and all sorts of... They knew what was going on there. NBC knew. Anyway. If you want to guess who the next celebrity sexual harasser will be and you get it correctly, we're giving out prizes. We did this in 2017. Nobody got it right. And we had like one a day. So now that we're back in the new year, I'm sure we'll be back up to speed. This wonderful Washington Examiner umbrella to you. If you guess it correctly, we'll send it out to you. And get this, coming in 2018, official Tim Young merchandise. And I got to tell you, there's nothing more exciting than having official Tim Young merchandise other than unofficial Tim Young merchandise, which I think somebody else is selling in the office down the hallway here. I don't have any control over that. Anyway, guys, that's it for the first episode of No Things Considered in 2018. Thank you for watching. We're here every night of the week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to tell you, Trump foreign policy extravaganza, that's just the beginning of this year. We're gonna hopefully not be in a war. It is looking not safe. So just Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that you don't follow through with your resolutions because resolutions are worthless. You can start a resolution at any point, any day during the year. We're here every night of the week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like the show. Well, I'm screwing up my lines. Like the show. Click the heart button. Click the smiley face button. We'll be here. We'll get it right eventually. Share it with your friends.